Hi guys. In today's video, we're going to look at 10 things that MMA fans missed out, which led the sport to get shaped. In the history of mixed martial arts, some of the most significant moments have occurred, such as the death of Pride, the UFC Fox deal, Conor McGregor's 2 championships, and the Trump Taj Mahal Resort and Casino. These events were major events that defined the sport and had far-reaching implications. However, there were also moments that were overlooked at the time, which would later change and shape the sport in ways nobody could have possibly predicted. One such moment was the location of UFC 30's event, which was a seemingly minor detail to most fans. The venue was a staple of the Atlantic City boardwalk, and the promotion would put on backtrack shows at the Taj to kick off the Zua era. This sparking a lifelong friendship with Donald Trump had far larger implications when one of the two parties ended up becoming president of the United States. The other moment was the American Gangster's TTE ratio, which ended up being nearly 17 times that of a normal man post Anderson Silva's title challenge, and he was subsequently suspended for a year. Sonnen found himself before the California State Athletic Commission, fighting for an appeal on the grounds that he had a medical condition. The real bombshell here ended up being TRT, a little-known loophole that would end up being the biggest crisis in the sport only a few years later. Flash Entertainment joined UFC, and while the business of fighting is always intriguing to most UFC fans, it was not until 2010 that the average fan realized that Flash Entertainment would be purchasing a 10% stake of parent company Zua. This relationship marked a shift towards world domination by the UFC, with overseas markets being a major priority. Talent from regions previously unrepresented in the promotion would start making a huge impact during the pandemic and the rise of Fight Island. Another moment was when Conor McGregor mentioned Floyd Mayweather in an interview with One Magazine Esquire. McGregor brought up Floyd Mayweather in the context of boxers not being complete fighters, and they would end up in the second biggest boxing match of all time. This interview was the seed that moved things forward, and it helped to propel the sport forward. The other moment was Olympic judoka joining Strikeforce, and Ronda Rousey's first fight with the promotion at a Strikeforce Challengers event was controversial. Sarah D'Elio cried out in pain while wearing armor, and the fight was stopped by Steve Mazzetta. The most important moments in the history of mixed martial arts include the death of Pride, the UFC Fox deal, Conor McGregor's 2 championships, the Trump Taj Mahal Resort and Casino, the American Gangster's TTE ratio, Flash Entertainment's acquisition of Zua, the rise of Floyd Mayweather, and the rise of Olympic judoka's Strikeforce. These moments have had a profound impact on the sport and the future of mixed martial arts. The UFC has undergone several significant changes over the years, including the introduction of The Ultimate Fighter, UFC, in 2005. The first episode of the show, The Ultimate Fighter, was a hit with fans and critics alike, as it marked the beginning of the UFC's rise to mainstream popularity. The show was a major event in the sport, with the first episode receiving decent ratings. However, the popularity of the show was not immediately apparent due to the overwhelming popularity of the show on television. John Skipper, who started with ESPN magazine in 1997 and became president in 2012, resigned from his position as head of ESPN+. This resignation was due to a scandal involving substance abuse and a disagreement with ESPN's management. Skipper's resignation was a significant moment for many fans, as it led to the creation of the ESPN deal that is still in place today. Joe Rogan, a TV actor, joined the commentary team at UFC 37.5 in 2002, and his role in the UFC and Fear Factor made him a pop culture figure. His role in the UFC and Fear Factor also contributed to the growth of his podcast. In 2001, the UFC brand was virtually non-existent, with no product or events available on TV or Blockbuster. However, the acquisition of station casinos by the UFC in 2001 was a monumental moment for the UFC. The brothers who bought the UFC for $2 million were unaware of the potential impact of the show on reality television. Despite the initial uncertainty, the brothers decided to invest $40 million more in the UFC before it could be saved by reality television. The UFC's new reality show, The Ultimate Fighter, was another significant development. At the start of 2005, there were roughly 30 to 50 reality shows airing in the United States, and the market was completely oversaturated. The UFC announced its intention to start a reality show on Spike TV, which would set the UFC on the trajectory towards mainstream popularity. While the first episode had decent ratings, the ratings steadily increased as the season went on, culminating in the live finale, which would be a monumental moment in the sport and change the UFC forever. The UFC's history has been marked by significant changes, such as the introduction of the UFC on television, the launch of The Ultimate Fighter, the introduction of the UFC reality show on Spike TV, and the success of the UFC's new reality show. In 1997, the New York Times published an article about Donald Zuckerman, the original owner of the UFC, who planned to hold an event in Manhattan, despite the fact that MMA was illegal in New York until 2016. The UFC owners had successfully lobbied for mixed martial arts sanction in New York, but politicians wanted to ease the situation. The UFC intended to hold an event in Niagara Falls, not New York City proper, after the ruling. Zuckerman believed it was legal to hold a show in Manhattan, but the situation escalated, leading to a complete reversal of the new sanctioning and the outright banning of mixed martial arts. The article highlights the importance of considering the interests of both the UFC and other small promotions when deciding on events and sanctioning. New York, a major city in combat sports, was a significant hub for MMA promotion. A seemingly insignificant headline in the New York Times about a seemingly insignificant MMA promotion became a significant moment in mixed martial arts history. Mixed martial arts, MMA, is considered the most comprehensive self-defense system globally, as it teaches effective self-defense techniques. The journey of learning MMA provides mental and physical benefits, including building confidence and self-esteem. Mastering techniques helps individuals feel good about themselves and realize that their abilities extend beyond martial arts to other aspects of life. MMA training not only enhances practical self-defense skills, but also improves physical appearance, making individuals feel better about their appearance. Additionally, gym training enhances social skills, making individuals more confident during social interactions. Overall, MMA is a rewarding and effective self-defense system. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.